Why am I sat here in this snazzy shirt? Oh yes, it's snazzy, holding these 2 bottles of Demi Permanent Activator. I wonder, keep on watching to find out why. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and this is my channel. Yes, my channel, where we get into loads of things hair and sometimes, just sometimes, a little bit of beauty. Now, why am I holding these bottles of Demi Permanent Colour Activator, Processing Solution, whatever you want to call them? Well, I don't know about you, but I use an awful lot of Demi Permanent Colour in salon. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do, yes. Obviously, you know, there's been a huge boom in this kind of product, hair colouring product, in the last 5 years, 10 years. I've been using them for a long, long time, but they're really popular now and they really help us with all the techniques we do in salon. But there's a question that I get asked again and again and again, sometimes in comments on here or on DMs on Instagram, and I thought I would make a video, of course I do, I'm a YouTuber, all about that question. Without further ado, enough waffling, let's get on with that question. Just a brief reminder before we get into what we're going to talk about with me in my slightly psychedelic shirt here with the sun streaming in through the window, that if you enjoy this video and you find it helpful, oh yes, please give it a like because that really helps me out and it really makes me understand what it is that you want to see. Of course, you can subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss anything, but if you do hit the subscribe, then you need to make sure that you also hit the bell, because that's how YouTube knows that you want to see what's coming here on my channel. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into these. So, all of that was rather long, wasn't it? I'm sure there'll be people time-stamping this video down below. Crikey. Now, the crux of this video is this, and it's not going to be a long one, but it is something I wanted to share with you because I do get asked it again and again, as I've already said. Demi Permanent Colour developers are formulated in a very specific way. So, if you run out of these products, I have Shades EQ Gloss one here, which is something I use a lot of, and I also have the Colour Touch one here, which I also use in salon. I've also been testing the one from Pravana, the Express Toners, which uses a zero lift developer. What else have I used? I've used pretty much all of them that are on the market. So I've got bottles of developer all over the place in my cubby hole in the salon. But the question that I'm asked a lot is, can I mix these, instead of using these developers, can I use peroxide? There's also a really fantastic urban myth that if you run out of Shades EQ processing solution, which is what this is called, that you can use Colour Touch Gentle Emulsion and it will be completely fine. They're very similar. The reality is then they're so not similar. They're so not similar. I'd like to add a caveat here that this video is not sponsored and I do not work for either Weller or Redken. I don't even create content for them on a kind of freelance basis. So this video is not sponsored at all. I'm not trying to get you to buy product. I don't have a relationship with these brands other than they know who I am because I tag them in my work, hopefully. Now, I've mentioned the chemists that formulate hair colour products before, and they are quite brilliant, and these formulations of these products are really fantastic. But before I get into why you can't replace these with kind of general peroxide, if you like, or mix them with other developers, intermix them, let's talk a little bit about how Demi Permanent Colours work. Now, before we get into why I feel it could raise issues for you, could cause you problems mixing Demi Permanent Colour with alternative developers or with developers from another line, let's talk about what Demi Permanent Colours are. Well, first of all, Demi Permanent or Demi Permanent, if you're over in the States or somewhere else that says Demi instead of Demi, it's all good. Demi itself means partially. So Demi Permanent Colours are colours that are long-lasting temporary colours that sit under the cuticle. Now, we all know what the cuticle of the hair is, don't we? It's in this diagram here. I remember that from college a long way back. You may not have seen this before if you're a consumer at home, but the cuticle of the hair is the protective layer that sits on the top. It doesn't really open and shut, close it like a door, but it is basically the outer layer of the hair, the surface of the hair. And Demi-permanent colours generally are ammonia-free, so they don't have the power to lift the hair. We'll get into that in a second. They don't have the power to lift the hair, but they do have, the developers do give them energy. I love that word. Do give them energy so that the colour sits slightly under the cuticle. And that's what a demi-permanent colour is. It's a very gentle product that needs a little bit of energy from that developer, specific developer, and we'll get into the reason why it needs that specific developer in a second, to sit just under the cuticle of the hair. They make the hair shiny, they can add depth to the hair, they can add tone. They're not going to lighten, so that you can't lift up that hair, but they do all of those other things. And that is what a demi-permanent colour is. So now we're on to why it's important to use the designated developers. I'm actually going to put these down rather than waggle them around. Oh, excuse me, very close to the camera. Now, why is it important to use a designated developer? Well, as I mentioned before, the formulators, the chemists who create these products are amazing. And the specific developer that goes with that particular demi-permanent hair color product will have been formulated to make it work at its optimum level. Now, you may think that the developers down there, the processing solutions, the activators, whatever it is that they are called, are just some kind of peroxide, some kind of catalyst. Well, they aren't. They have other things. They have conditioning properties. They have buffers. Buffers generally help to make the product sink into the hair to where it needs to go to, and they also help it do its job more effectively. I'm trying not to get super nerdy and technical. So they contain lots of other things, and most of them do contain conditioning properties. Also, from a really kind of simple, basic point of view, they make the product a really lovely consistency to use. So they'll be specific to that product, so that when you mix it up in a bowl or in a shaker bottle, lots of hand actions, in a shaker bottle, that it's easy to apply. If you mix it with a different product, a different ranges developer, it might not be the right consistency. Also, the big one, the really big one, is that if you mix one brand of products developer with a different demi-permanent colour, you can't guarantee the results. You can't guarantee to your client or on yourself that it's going to last very long, that you're going to get exactly the colour that you thought you were going to get. You could get into problems with it lasting longer than you thought it was going to last. So that is kind of like my main reason that the chemists that formulate these things have put a lot of thought, time, energy, effort, research. You know, some of these products get researched for years and years and years, and some of them have been around for a long time and they've stayed the same because they are so good. So that's the first reason why it makes a lot of sense to use the corresponding developer, activator, processing solution. Now we move on to the part of this video, which is the kind of really serious bit, if you like, the meat part of the question, and the thing that I get asked all the time, and that is, can I mix demi-permanent colours, or I do mix demi-permanent colours with peroxide and I get great results mixing them with general peroxide? Now, that's not wrong. You can do that if you want to do it. I strongly wouldn't advise that you do it, because demi-permanent colours, most of them, all of the ones that I know of, contain oxidative dye. Some of them contain direct dye as well, but nearly all the ones that I've ever used contain oxidative dye. And these developers contain peroxide. The Shady Q Gloss one has 2%, and the Colour Touch one, I think it's 1.9%, yes. Now they need the peroxide in them in order to give the product energy. Talked about energy many, many times here on my channel. That's a catalyst. So it basically gives the product the energy it needs to go under the cuticle and to deposit the oxidative dyes. Now that's very, very carefully calibrated, and as I've already said, these products contain lots of other things that help to buffer that, help to make the result effective but softer so that it gradually washes away. If you mix them with stronger levels of peroxide, then there is a chance the oxidative dye could travel further into the hair and the product is going to become more permanent. Now, you might want that, and you might use a system, you might use this with that and that with this, and I'm not saying that you can't do that, but this is to answer those questions of people that have asked me specifically, can I mix this with this, or that will be all right mixed with that, won't it? And in my opinion, the answer to that is no, because the results won't be predictable. Yes, if you want to use a product, for instance, like Shady Q Gloss to blend more grey and you're mixing it with a higher level of peroxide, you might be getting great results, but I can pretty much guarantee that that product's not going to fade, so you will get a demarcation line. Yes, with Colour Touch in particular, there is an intensive processing solution. What do they call their product? They call it emulsion. There's an intensive emulsion, all of these words, intensive emulsion that is specifically for grey blending and giving you a little bit more grey coverage. And I do use that product in Salon, that developer, and it's a brilliant product, but it's specific for that. And it isn't just peroxide, it has lots of other things mixed with it. So, you know, I'm never going to sit here on my channel and say that you're doing something wrong. If that's what you're doing and you're getting great results, then that's what you've been doing and you're getting great results. But really, this channel is here to share information with all of you peeps that watch these videos. Thank you very much. And for you to take it and make it your own and make you the best professionals or consumers, if you're a consumer that can get hold of these products. That would be controversial in itself, to make you the best that you can using these products. So by all means, use it as you want to use it, but in my opinion, stay away from peroxide and use the specific developers. I always think it's going to be just a very short video, and then it takes longer to explain what it is I want to get across. But thank you very much if you're here at the end. I really appreciate you. My light's just gone off. So if you're here at the end of the video, then thank you. I appreciate you watching till the end. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. Make sure that you're subscribed and you hit that bell, because that means you're going to see everything that's coming here on my channel. Now, have you got a favorite demi-permanent color? Have you? Well, pop it in the comments down below. I also have a what do I have? I have a strict policy, that's what I have, that if you leave me a comment here on YouTube or you DM me on my Instagram, which is popping up on screen now, I will always reply to you. It kind of makes sense. You take the time to message that, I'm going to get back to you. Once again, thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you all in the next one.